trauma is something that is very isolating for most people. Regardless of where your trauma is coming from, if your trauma is coming from, like a lot of my clients, the criminal justice system, or if your trauma is coming from about, the other half of my clients, it's coming from the religious community or religious trauma, or occult even. Regardless of the source, a lot of times we tend to feel shame around our trauma, the source of our trauma, and the story surrounding our trauma. And that causes us to really fold inward. And there's also always a question about, who can I trust to talk to about what's going on in my life? And, are people suddenly unsafe? Are they going to judge me for what I'm going through? Or are they going to judge me for the decisions that I've made in this process? And so I've come up with a couple of analogies that are typically helpful when we are trying to decide who to share our story with and who not to share our story with and our trauma with, who we can lean on and who it really isn't safe to kind of ask for support. So I thought I'd share that with you today. I talk about people in our lives kind of in various circles, right? So we have our kind of inner circle of people who are very, very trusted. We also have kind of arm's length people who are great to maybe hang around, spend time with, have a cup of coffee with, or whatever, but who may not be as safe to really unload our trauma on, right? Or to turn to when we feel like we need some support. So if you think about, sharing something with an arm's length friend, if an arm's length friend comes to me today and says, "Hey, Julian, how you doing?" I might tell them, "Hey, you know what? I'm doing just fine. I'm doing okay. Been a little busy at work, whatever. How are you doing?" That might be how that conversation goes with an arm's length friend. But with an inner circle friend, if they come to me today and say, "Hey, Julian, how you doing?" I might tell them, "Oh my gosh, you know what? I'm doing all right, but hot flashes are a huge thing for me right now. I'm trying to get my hormones under control, whatever. This stage of life for me has thrown me for a loop a little bit in the temperature control department, right?" So you can see how my answer to an arm's length friend is actually kind of kind to them and to me, right? I'm not going to share personal information with that person, but I might have a decent conversation with them, just a more surface level. That person who is one of my inner circle people, who really gets it if I talk to them about hormone imbalances or hot flashes or whatever, I'm able to open up with them a little bit more and talk to them a little bit more about personal things. Part of that's really natural, but part of that also takes, especially in the case of trauma, takes a little bit of evaluation of, who's in my life and where do they fit? Are they arm's length friends? Are they inner circle friends? Are they people that I can really talk to about personal things? And the health slash hormone analogy may be a good way to do that evaluation and kind of see, okay, who can I tell that, my loved one has just been arrested and I'm terrified. Those arm's length friends, the people that you work with, people maybe from church or whatever, maybe more arm's length friends, people who you feel like you can call in the middle of the night, or people who have shared personal things with you, maybe the people that you can consider more inner circle people and share some of those personal things. Treat your trauma like any other personal thing that's going on in your life or has gone on in your life, and share only with those people who are close, safe people who are going to support you. A lot of times when you're in the throes of trauma, telling people about that trauma becomes a big deal, and their response is even a bigger deal, right? So I'd say in the beginning, really only talk to those people who are going to support you through that trauma. And anyone else, if there's a question mark about where their opinion is going to be, or where their support level is going to be, maybe you just hold off. It doesn't mean you never talk to them about it. It just means now, when things are fresh, when a storm is raging around you, now may not be the time. So I hope that helps you kind of decide who to talk to, who not to talk to, who to kind of keep at arm's length. The other thing I want to just remind you of and let you know is that it's not lying if you don't tell a person everything all the time. It's really common for us in normal everyday life to share more with some people than others. But during times of trauma, sometimes it feels, because everything's so chaotic, it feels like you're being dishonest if you don't fully answer a question. It's not. It's okay. It's okay not to tell those arm's length people everything. And it's okay not to tell confrontational people that you know aren't going to support you. It's okay not to tell them anything. It's really okay. All right. Just wanted to end on that note. And I look forward to hearing back from you. And I look forward to also sharing other tips with you along the way as well. All right. Have a great day.